Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to City Skylines. Today, we're doing something very different. This is a speed build, which you've seen before in my Let's Play, but this is just a speed build of a casino strip. We toyed with this idea in, I believe, the previous episode of the Let's Play, which we will talk about in just a moment, but I decided I would take the idea, I would expand upon it, and basically make a sort of cheap Vegas strip here in Cities Skylines. But while we're laying out all of the roads, which I'm very happy with, by the way, I like what I did with the two kind of parallel one-way roads there. While we're doing this, I want to talk to you about the Let's Play, because there is bad news regarding that, and hopefully, if you're interested in the Cities Let's Play, you're watching this. The Cities Skylines Let's Play Season 3, the After Dark series, is pretty much done. Not through choice. Basically, there's been something has happened with either a mod or something. I can't place any more roads. Long story short, in that save, I can't place any more roads. So I decided that what I was going to do is I will take the ideas that you've thrown my way. So all the things that you suggested I should build, I'm still going to build. I'm just going to spend more time on them and do individual videos on them. So this is actually the first idea that was suggested, which was, well, not the first idea. The first one was the university renovation. So there was that, not the university renovation, the Olympic Park, then the university renovation, which we did in the Let's Play. The following thing was going to be a casino strip, which I can't do in the Let's Play, so is now just an individual video, which is this one. So, that said, I am a little bit annoyed about the fact that the Let's Play can't continue. It's especially annoying considering that my Season 3 of Software Inc. sort of went the same way in that I couldn't continue it after a certain episode because of an issue with the save file. This one is just a bug and probably something corrupted by a mod, which is a risk that I don't blame the game, it is just a mod, and this is a thing that can happen when you run mods, but whatever the case, I'm running all the same mods and using all the same assets that I was using in the Let's Play to build this particular build, basically, and if you want to play this, let me know, and I will chuck this up in the gallery, and I'll put a comment down below saying that it's on the gallery. This isn't The Sims. The workshop. It's not The Sims. It's City Skylines. But I will put it on the workshop if people want to see it. Just be aware that you can't import big things like this into your world, so if you wanted to, like, add this to your city, you can't. But you would be able to build around it and tamper with it and do your own thing to it if you really wanted to. So if you want to, like, download this, let me know and I'll put it on the gallery, apparently. I'll put it on the Sims gallery. I'll find a way to do that. But, yes, let's actually talk about the build here. So, as you've seen, we've used two parallel one-way roads, and this is also right-hand drive. That wasn't intentional, but I figured, well, it's as good a time as any to do that. But we have these two parallel one-way roads instead of an avenue down the middle, because it kind of works better with the highway, honestly, and I think it looks alright. It creates a nice big space in the middle for all of the sort of casinos to face each other and just look good in the end, and I'm quite happy with how the whole thing looks, to be honest. The roads are somewhat planned. It may look like I know what I'm doing with the roads. In reality, I really am just winging it at this point and saying, oh, what looks good? This looks good. Okay, we'll go with that. But that's fine. I mean, that's a reasonable way to do things. I think in the end, I have a decent enough mix of diagonal roads, curved roads, and sort of regular straight roads that we have an interesting looking skyline. Not all of the buildings are on the same axis of rotation, so we wind up with something that doesn't look all too bad, and I think fairly soon we're actually going to be getting into placing some buildings. The roads are more or less done at this point. There's a little bit more to do down in this corner, I think, but I'm pretty sure that after this we get into placing some buildings. I don't know. I don't remember when we get to. I think we do paths first. Yeah, we do some pathways first. But something I did in this build as well was I decided that, you know, this is obviously going to be a very dense urban area. At least it would be if it was in a real city. In City Skylines right now, it's just sort of a really dense area surrounded by forest, which makes no sense. But something I did with this that you'll see in a little bit is some of the more open areas, because obviously you can't fill in every space because buildings are all different shapes and sizes. I actually took that as an opportunity to put in a lot of sort of custom parks, not actual parks, but spaces that I just put trees into, and then, you know, put benches and put tables and little sort of gazebo-looking things. I just made it all look fairly populated and used. If a space didn't have anything in it, I didn't leave it green, at least. I would pave it. If it was going to be green, then it was going to be some kind of park-looking thing, so I am very happy with how that looked. I'm also very happy with how this road here looks that I just got done there. It actually, all the roads lined up perfectly and connected to each other perfectly, which is very rare for City Skylines, so that's a bit of a nice change. Here we are putting in some of the sort of utilities. Obviously going to need some water, obviously going to need some electricity at some point, and in a little bit we do sewage as well. I forget to do sewage initially because I'm a bit of a dum-dum, but that's alright. We throw it in there eventually and everything's good. But here we go with some buildings, throwing in all sorts. Basically, my method for building this was what looks cool. What's a big building that's sort of to scale with everything else? Because I didn't want to put things in that are absolutely massive skyscrapers. There are big skyscrapers in here, but nothing that's, you know, hugely proportioned compared to everything else. That building back there is one of the biggest ones. This here is a custom hospital, which I thought would look really nice just sort of off the casino strip. And I think it does. It's a nice tall building which matches the theme of everything else. I decided to add the fire station nearby just there. I love what I did with that as well. I used Anarchy so that I could put the tunnel entrance sort of going onto the pavement of the fire station. It just looks really good. It's a decent use of space, I think. But there we go. That's all of our services added in there. We're going to start adding in some more towers and stuff like that to sort of just fill up the space. My goal with this really was make it as bright as possible, basically. This little building there that's a Regal Theater next to the, that's actually like an emergency services HQ, that older building next to the theater. I decided that little road is actually, you'll see me in a little bit adding a district to the whole space, but that little road has its own district, which is a European theme, because I just wanted it to look older. That was basically it. That was the idea for that road. It's to look a little bit older so those buildings sort of make sense. But there we go, connecting the electricity to everything. So that's at nighttime we can actually get some lights up in here, which is very important indeed. And honestly, I will say I'm very pleased with just how the whole thing looks in the end, because I think I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in that I just have this absolute mess of very bright buildings. There's a lot of red and a lot of sort of orange and pink and warm colors along those lines. There's not a lot of blue in here. There's blue off of the strip, that big building on the right and the big building that I placed at the start, the curved one you can see there. They're very blue, but the main strip itself doesn't actually have a lot of blue on it, which is very intentional. And I think the actual roads I have going down the middle as well for the strip itself, I changed the lights in those so that they're warm toned streetlights. So again, we're sticking with the sort of warmer tones for the strip as opposed to the colder tones which come from that big blue building on the right there. But I do think having the blue buildings off the strip does create a nice effect, because you have this, if you're right down on the strip, you're surrounded by red, but then in the distance you see these big blue buildings and then the sky in the background, and everything just looks really nice. I spent a bit of time just toying around at near ground level, just looking at things to see if it sort of had the right atmosphere, and I mean, I think it does. I think it has the atmosphere I want it to have. Also using a mod there to fix the residential, commercial, and industrial demand to 100, so it's always maxed out. That way, all of this zoning is just going to fill up immediately. That does cause some problems with the zoning, because there's a lot of demand for jobs, because it turns out that while building all of this, I forgot to put in any education. I have done it. I did do it off camera. I don't know if you'll see any of the university stuff at the end of the video when I show you some cinematics, but there are universities and schools in here now. So if I put this up in the workshop, they'll exist, and the demands for educated workers will slowly go away. But they will be there to begin with, because I completely forgot to put in any form of education, because I'm a bit of a dum-dum. But here we go, just adding in some little advertising boards there. I did want to get a lot of pathways through all of this space. I didn't get as many as I necessarily wanted, but I do have some pathways going from one side to the other here and there. I do have a lot of paved areas using the concrete sort of, I guess, tiles or the concrete brush things that are there. You can see them as I scroll by. I feel like I just wanted to make the area along the main strip as, I guess, dense as I possibly could. Oh god, that shot there, I love how that looks. That's all thanks to the mod, which let me fix the RCI demand to just 100%. It's so satisfying to see that. I actually regret not getting like a big cinematic pan over the top of those as they all built up, because that would have looked so cool. But I'll try and do that for future builds. I do have other ideas for future builds. I won't spoil them. I have got them written down. I'm looking at them right now. But what you can do is leave suggestions for builds in the comment section, and I will go ahead and possibly get to doing those at some point if I like your idea, because I kind of really enjoyed this, to be honest. It was a pleasant break from just playing cities. It was nice to sit down and just do something purely creative and not have to necessarily worry about balancing RCI and balancing demands and all that. Which, I mean, because I didn't do that, if you happen to download this, good luck. It's your problem, not mine. You can deal with all of that, because I didn't give a damn about it, to be honest. I just wanted to make something look pretty, and I think I did a fair job of it. You know, it looks alright. I love this little park as well. I did a few of these, like I mentioned. They just look, they're just nice. They're just there to fill space, and I think they do a pretty good job. They aren't necessarily the most urban looking things, but they are better than placing down some of the parks. Like, that's something cities really struggles with, I find. Like, there are not that many good parks in the workshop. I've been, for a really long time, I've been so tempted to sit down someday and either stream me doing it or just do it in my own time, just making some parks. Because this game really struggles with that. There's so few decent parks on the workshop, and there's some great ones. There's just not many of them. That's the problem. So I might do that at some point. Or, you know, if you've made a great park, then where is it? Because I haven't found it on the thing. I don't know. I think people are also really bad at tagging their stuff, because there are a lot of tags on the City Skylines workshop. So it's possible they're badly tagged. It's possible that there's just not many parks. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing to do, make a park, so that's possibly part of the reason, but whatever. I mean, it's okay. No, I just make custom parks. They're not even parks. I just make, you know, I leave an area of grass and I just fill it out like this, put some trees around it, put some benches in there. I think it looks better. It lets me make angled parks. It makes me make let's try saying that again. It lets me make just all sorts of different sized and shaped parks, which is kind of nice, to be honest. It's honestly, I think, a bit better than some of the parks, I suppose. I should probably stop talking about parks, shouldn't I? That's probably something I should do. He says, watching himself build another little park there. This is going so well. I will say it's proving a little bit difficult to commentate what's actually going on. I realize, because usually when I've got cities speed builds, it's in a Let's Play and I just speed it up for like 2 minutes, put some music on it, and it's fine. This time, I actually have to focus on the entire video. Anyway, we're getting to something that I'm actually able to talk about. This is something I spent a little bit more time on than any of the other sort of park spaces, and that's because it's not a park. It's actually a construction site, which is a little bit weird to necessarily have on the main strip here. But I couldn't think of anything else to put in this space here, so I decided a sort of little construction site would do the job. Because, I mean, we can imagine that, you know, they're building another casino. and it's going to be great. It's going to be some big flashy thing with lots of red lights and orange lights and pink lights, and it's going to blend in nicely. But obviously, it's currently under construction, so that's fine. These bloody Jersey barriers here, they took a long time to place because I kind of wanted to get them perfect. It looks like I'm doing it kind of quickly. It was about 6 times slower than what you're seeing here to place those, because they don't snap at all, so they're an absolute mess. Fortunately, they didn't need to be perfect, but yeah, they were still an absolute mess. I did find some traffic cones, though, which was nice. Those look nice. They didn't have to be perfect. They could be an absolute mess and not look silly. So, there was that. And I think all I do to this construction site now is just I add that trailer, and then I think that, no, I add some crates, don't I? I add some crates, some pallets of wood, and then some bits of broken wood as well. And then I think, oh no, we add those reels of wire, but then we come in with the ruined brush in the hope that we can paint the whole area with that. We can't. We can paint that space, though, and then I just use these smaller brushes to make it look a little bit less square there. And I think it looks fine, honestly. I'm actually very happy with how that construction site turned out. It's, again, not necessarily something you would see being commonplace on a casino strip, but I think it works. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I will say, this space I'm toying about with right now, next to the sort of weird-looking round tower thing near the entrance to the strip, there's a space there I couldn't figure out what to put in there. It really was a struggle to figure it out, because there's not that many casino assets on the workshop. That's another, I mean, I don't expect there to be. Those are more complicated to make than parks, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the city's workshop, just not a lot of stuff that works well with the things I want to build, unfortunately. So I believe I end up putting in the botanical gardens into that space. There we go. I mean, it works. I guess you can imagine that's a sort of, you know, a lower key, but still quite fancy sort of casino. Maybe not a casino, maybe like it's got a lot of sort of, now what are those bloody machines? The machines with like the arm that you put the coins in, you pull the arm and it does the spinny thing with the 3 things, and you have to match up the like little like cherries or the 7s or the word bar. I don't know. Those things. I imagine it's one of those buildings, basically. It's not so much a casino as it's just sort of a gambling house thing. Words. I'm good with I'm good with words, ladies and gentlemen. I'm what some would call a wordsmith, but they'd be wrong. Anyway, we are just getting towards final little details here and there, adding in some parking, doing some last bits of paving here and there. Obviously going to be adding in another park to that space because, well, it's a green space with not a lot to it. So we go with a bit more of a, I guess, a tropical theme for this park, because I realized that the other parks having oak trees doesn't necessarily, I mean, it doesn't necessarily match, but it doesn't necessarily look too bad. But I figured with this park being on a road that has that many palm trees, it's probably best to go with a bit more of a tropical theme on this. But really, I believe that's it for the majority of the building. There's some small tweaks here and there, but outside of that, it's pretty much done here. What I'll do is I will leave you with some very cinematic shots and some very cinematic music here at the end of the video, showing you the whole strip in a light that I could not achieve by just speeding up some footage. Again, if you want to play this, go ahead and let me know. I will chuck it up on the workshop and leave a comment down below saying that it's there and how to find it. If you have an idea for something you would like to see me build, you can also leave that in the comment section below. And that's going to be it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Again, apologies about this city's Let's Play, but the danger of working with mods is that it will break your game, and in this case it seems to have broken my game. I will continue to see if I can fix it, but I'm really enjoying this speed build thing, so we'll probably continue this for a while either way. But with that in mind, folks, thank you kindly for watching. I've been the ConflictNerd. This has been Cities Skylines and the Casino Strip. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.